Well, hello there, and welcome back to Good in the Middle Way. I'm your host Rob, and I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about karma, and how this universal law is interwoven into all of our lives, into everything that we're doing, and how having an understanding of how karma works, we can improve our condition. You see, improving our condition through understanding karma is what is ultimately going to lead us to liberation. Now, I have the good karma to have you along for this journey watching this video, which I thank you so much for. You see, the Buddhists don't have a monopoly on the explanation of karma. I also want to highlight that there are other schools of thought, mainly coming out of India, about karma, how it's tied to a soul, where the Buddhist presentation has no self. And if you find one of those definitions more suitable, I really hope that you find peace and it helps you. But today we're going to be focusing on the Buddhist presentation, and specifically Nagarjuna, who is a Buddhist saint who lived in South India approximately 2nd century CE, and is undoubtedly the most influential and widely studied Mahayana Buddhist philosopher. Thank you, Mr. Garfield, from The Fundamental Wisdom of the Middle Way. Now, what is karma? You might be wondering. Karma simply translates to action. It is also linked to cause and effect, and how actions have effects. Now, if we really start to look at so many things, there are countless examples, easily low-hanging fruit for us to pick from, that will help us understand that everything is karma. Everything is interconnected and playing off of one another and other things. And that it's if you look backwards, it goes to beginningless time. If you look forward, anything you do doesn't cause a reaction in some sense, in some way. Even as I take a breath to say my next words, I'm using up oxygen in the room and adding this carbon dioxide. And so it's inescapable in this universe. And starting to understand how this works as a sentient being will ultimately lead us to our liberation. Now, karma is very complicated. It would sometimes be presented as simple, and when those presentations work, it's wonderful, but it can also be very, very complicated, because what I mean to say by that is there's layers on layers on layers that our human minds cannot fathom truly the consequences of everything we're doing in this moment, and how it is essentially affecting everything in the universe. Now, on our small scale, where you might not see it, feel it, or etc., but which way is up anyway? If you've studied space and astrophysics just a little bit, everything is relative to everything else. So which way is up? That's one thought I've been thinking of today. But how it relates then to also karma is everything that is behind me, let's say, and even this camera. I didn't produce this camera. Some very intelligent mind had an idea that wasn't the first camera. It goes back to someone else having this idea, and this other person even farther back, or many people really, wanting to preserve a moment. I didn't assemble, well, I did assemble these bookshelves in a way, but I didn't gather the wood, I didn't produce this thing, I didn't print all these pages that are in these books that were, how many hands touched and made this book, And that's kind of what I want to highlight here. There's no shortage of examples of one cause and how it affects many other things, and how anything that is in your current moment is a culmination of countless things, wants, wishes, material. It should be humbling. I feel it is very humbling. And I say that karma is also complicated because we don't fully know the effects on which certain events will have. One of my favorite stories when I was growing up that actually got me into Buddhism was titled The Zen Master and the Villagers. And it's short, very short, one page. And it goes like this. There's a Zen master in a village, and these villagers are gathered around because there's a young boy and it's his birthday. And that boy gets a horse for his birthday. And the people around the village, they come to him and they say, "Whoa, how wonderful, he's got a horse." And they think it's such a good thing. And they ask the Zen master, and the Zen master said, "Oh, we'll see." The boy grows to his preteens, young adult. He's riding his horse and he falls off and he breaks his leg. And the whole village comes around and say, "Oh, how unfortunate, he's broken his leg. Zen master, isn't this terrible?" And the Zen master says, "Well, we'll see." A few years later, a war breaks out in the country. And the boy will not have to go fight because he has this broken leg and he cannot go to war. And the Zen master is asked again, "Oh, how wonderful, he won't have to go to war, he'll be spared, all the atrocities of war." And the Zen master says, "We'll see." This short story helps emphasize how these effects, what is good today can be bad tomorrow. We truly don't fully know how we're impacting and what we're doing. The best we can do, though, is to generate with good intention and focus on producing wholesome karma. The Buddha distinctly said there are two types of karma. Another school says, the Buddha said there's four. It's not a highly contested thing. It's really just a breaking down of things, because the Buddha said there's wholesome karma, wholesome actions, and unwholesome actions. And that in those unwholesome actions, there's also neutral actions, which are typically fall under our day-to-day living in our modern world. Like we're not really thinking with good or bad intention as we turn on the faucet, and how much water did we use, and these sorts of things, small things that are typically, they might have an effect, but because you don't have an intention behind them of doing malice or being wholesome or good to it, they're just considered neutral. And so we really want to focus on generating these wholesome karmas, as karma is viewed also as a bit like a seed. And for our mental continuum and our minds, it's planting this mental seed of positivity that will one day grow. Thinking of karma like a seed, if the seed is going to produce a mango tree, because it's a mango seed, one would expect to plant that seed, come back in some time, grab the fruit that was bore off that tree, and enjoy the mango. Now, if you had a chili seed, you wouldn't expect to have a mango as the end result, right? So it's important to know these distinctions of what we're putting into our mind and planting these mental seeds so that we can have positive outcomes later, and the appropriate ones for what we've planted. So if we are ruminating on negative thoughts and, "Oh, this person is terrible and I hate this person," and all this stuff, all we're going to get further down the line is those thoughts recycling, us feeling upset again, and it just goes on and on and on, because that's the seeds we planted. Now, if we choose with good intention, I'm going to think about more positive things, I'm going to, humble myself, be more peaceful, later down the line, down the week, down the month, I feel less disturbed, because I'm putting forth this real effort and intention to generate more wholesome qualities for myself and for others in the world and other sentient beings, including animals. So one might ask, how do we do that? How do we generate more good karma and generate wholesome karma? I would start with just asking people how they're doing, genuinely, because you never know where somebody's at, and if somebody feels open enough to be vulnerable with you, you will feel that sense of value and appreciation for from them. You'll receive that, and it might make you feel good, like, I really listen to somebody, or you'll be giving them a smile, they give you back a bigger smile. Cool, good day, But there's so many virtuous ideas that we could be thinking about throughout our day, planting these seeds. We're allowed to make mistakes. Remember the first video, I'm telling you, we're allowed to make mistakes, and we cannot be mindful 100% of the time in the karma that we're creating. It would be nice, but it's unrealistic. So we have to generate then that focus and having that good intention to just keep doing the best we can every day. And from the Mahayana view, as my monk friend Nicholas Vreeland had recently said, from the Mahayana perspective, having the wish to liberate and help sentient beings to become truly free from suffering, because in our current form and state, we can't truly take them out of their suffering and relieve it and cure this ailment of samsara, And how it's so important to generate this intention, though, this sincere wish, coming with this sincere intention, and having that become the strongest driving force in your mind and in your mind's continuum, and how that will lead you to bodhisattvahood, to understanding the true nature of reality, the way that everything works, and if nothing else, how to really actually help sentient beings who are suffering in their own habitual mess. That just, you ever seen somebody hurting themselves and you're just like, oh please, just stop doing that. All you have to do is stop this one thing, or just disengage, and they don't. And not just with addiction, let's say. Have you ever seen people with some mental illnesses or milder forms of mental illness that are just trapped in these ruminating patterns? It's so awful, and therapy does a pretty good job, but, and change can happen, but we're still in samsara. We still have aches and pains. We will only develop as much as we put the effort in. So creating good karma is paramount to our development. And it's also paramount to building a better world and, really helping the next generation and setting the next generation up to also experience good lives where they can develop themselves, enjoy peace, and leaving it better than we found it. It's at least, I think that is the most important thing. We should leave this world better than we found it. And the middle way provides us a very clear path, even as lay people, that we can make this world better for ourselves specifically. If nothing else, you could do it for yourself, and no one will judge you, actually, if they're really practicing. That motivation comes in some ways first, until you can really develop this thing where I've already taken care of myself, I'm good, I'm gonna make sure that you're good now, or this whole community is good now because I'm already set up as good. And yeah, so quickly, since I've gone on, I'd like to share from the text what Nagarjuna had said. Here we will go to about number 6 from page 232 of The Fundamental Wisdom of the Middle Way. Author is J.L. Garfield, translation and commentary. I'll also leave a link for that. So, self-restraint and benefiting others with a compassionate mind is the Dharma. This is the seed for fruits in this and future lives. The unsurpassed sage has said that actions are either intention or intentional. The varieties of these actions have been announced in many ways. Of these, what is called intention is mental desire. What is called intentional comprises the physical and verbal, speech and action and all kinds of unabandoned and abandoned actions, and resolve. There's a footnote here with the translated word. So for resolve here, they mean a technical term that can refer to such things as a monk's vows or a resolution to perform some action. Stanza 5. Virtuous and non-virtuous actions derived from pleasure, as well as intention and morality. These 7 are the kinds of action. Another footnote. The arithmetic here is none too clear. Tsongkhapa, who is the author of these, for the Lam Rim, who's a wonderful Buddhist scholar who you should definitely study. Tsongkhapa has said it like this: good and bad speech, good and bad physical action, abandoned and unabandoned actions, meritorious actions, non-meritorious actions, the intention to do good actions, the intention to do bad actions. Just what the principle of Parishan is here is not obvious. Clearly the categories overlap. And he references then page 300 to 301. Stanza 6. If until the time of ripening, action had to remain in place, it would have to be permanent. If it has ceased, then having ceased, how will the fruit arise? Thank you. And that kind of is just going back to and supporting what I was saying about these seeds and these actions. You know, if seeds don't work for you, just, you know, try to think of something that does, as, you know, for time here. But we can really see how what we're doing in this moment, we will reap later. And if we take care of ourselves now, we drink our water, we do our stretching and our yoga, and eat healthy and right, like our bodies will be taken care of, you know, to take care of itself for a long time. And if we don't, we see how it falls in disrepair. And so many people dying, unfortunately, so young because they didn't take care of themselves, which I think is so unfortunate. And I admit, I have not spent my life taking great care of myself, though these days I do. And I'm thankful to make the switch. And so I hope that this talk has inspired you. I hope that it benefits you. I really hope that you start to find where you can just little by little, it doesn't have to be these big grandiose things, just little by little, like I want to generate more positivity in my life and the world. I want to feel more peace and, you know, not be engaging with things that bring such negative results. You know, gossip is a big one that comes up in Buddhism, as it seems harmless in some ways at many times, but it can generate, you know, huge ruptures in communities and friendships and relationships. So, you know, so many examples. Like I said, there is a surplus of things we could choose from, and I think that it's important as we remember the interdependence of everything and how what I'm doing today matters. Well, I hit my recording limit for the first time, so we'll have to stitch this one together, and hopefully it's okay for you. That is my karma for doing too many takes. But it's okay. Like I said in the beginning, mistakes can happen, and in some ways that's my karma, you know. I was just ending with some ideas about really just there's this surplus for interdependence to show us and remind us of how all these things are interconnected, how what I'm doing today doesn't just benefit or harm me. You know, it could be benefiting or harming my community. It could be, you know, it will have effect down the line 5 years, 10 years. We don't even have to look to 100 years, but even in 100 years. You know, have you ever found an old piece of littered trash? You have no idea how long it's been there, but you could tell it's been there a long time. There's cause and effect to everything, and things don't just disappear. And so, you know, and everything has a value and a weight. And so balancing our karma is really important, both in the physical world, but like really in our minds. If we want to generate a more peaceful mind and a nicer place to, you know, wherever our mind rests day to day, it's like, oh, I'd like that to be a bit more peaceful, a little less chaotic, a little less anxious. And we'll continue to talk about karma, specifically how sometimes when discussing karma, it can be really hard to hear that every action and things that happen to us are our karma. And that is going back as well to how karma is complicated and it is multi-layered, where, you know, if you have the karma ripening to experience a misfortune, so did someone have the karma to create it and then experience more, but then there's choice and intention and things can get a little sticky there, as well as the long-term, you know, good, bad, and indifferent, everything in between. So thank you so much for joining me for the journey. Please forgive me for having to stitch this back together. Maybe we're having a good laugh about it. I think I am, so it's okay. These are not meant to be perfect, and we will continue to grow and learn and take up with good intention to generate more positive karma for ourselves in our little community here, and take care of each other. It's so very important. So with that, peace in and peace out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope that you are well, happy, healthy, and have the causes and conditions to not be experiencing suffering. With Metta, Rob. Thank you.